Here we go, guys. Just a real quick video, basically a chart update, pricing update for Theta and Tfuel. But first, we're going to take a quick look at the daily chart of Bitcoin. Here we are, the last, couple of months or whatever. Bitcoin has loved to consolidate and then break out, consolidate, break out. And here we are again, another consolidation zone. And if we can hold that green dash line, in other words, trade in the upper level of this breakout candle here, we'll have higher odds, higher probability that the next breakout will run up into the recent all-time high. So it could be over the next 2 weeks, or maybe even next week, we could run up there and test our previous all-time high. So just kind of want to make you aware of that. And these lines on the chart really just for a visual location, so to speak, price range when we click on them. And then if we start trading, especially closing candles under this particular green dash line, we'll have pretty good odds, pretty good probability we'll come down into this 20-day moving average. But, we're still going to be bullish, still going to be, in a positive market. Okay. So anyway, let's get on with it. Here's Theta. And I'm going to take all this off the chart here in a second so you more clearly see. We were concerned about this gray shaded area, and all that comes from way over here on the left from 2020 into 2021, okay? And a lot of times this on the weekly chart, this sideways consolidation zone will be resistance if you run through it and try to come back up into it. As you can see here at this red dash line, we couldn't get back into that trough, so to speak, but we definitely did, more recently on this weekly candle right here. And it's nothing I want to point out since we're on. Let me go ahead and take everything off there just for a minute. This flat 200 is very well problematic. It's really a strong resistance area. Not much more on a chart is more of a resistance zone than a flat 200, especially on the weekly. So could we, with FOMO and Bitcoin running higher next week, possibly, could we get over the 200? Yes, absolutely. But I think personally we need to pull back testing here. Kind of like we did in this zone. After this nice run up, we pulled back and then jumped up higher. And let me show you a little trick here. Well, first of all, let me take this off. And this is called a measured move, okay? And right now, most people, all they see on this chart, just a little run up, pull back, and then a breakout. But a lot of times, you can measure, before it happens, you can measure the potential run to the next level after this pullback. And let me show you a little trick here how we do this. Some of the things we teach our Patreon members, and we start with the low here to the high. And as you can see, that was about, well, not perfect, about 159% move, okay? Then you take it from this low, and then we broke out, and then we ran up, well, right now 169, and then to the top. So we exceeded expectations, 187, 188, depending on where you put it, percent move. So, and then, so you see how we did that, okay? So basically, we did this up, and then what we call a shallow pullback, and then our measured move was, I didn't want to do that, but anyway, up into that range, which, we exceeded. Now, how we'll do the next one, we'll wait and see here how we push to the upside, and then we'll see where we land, okay? We have a couple of areas on the chart that we have here for our Patreon members of potential, locations of support. So basically, make sure that's the right one, from the low to the high, 189. And then depending on where we pull back, let's take the worst case scenario right here and then go up 189%. Well, it sounds like a lot, but since it's so low priced, we can do that's close enough. So around that 450 area. Okay, that red dashed line, that's there for a reason too. So yeah, we could definitely what our thesis is that we do need for the chart a pullback here, reset, regroup, and then move up again. You just saw the price path that we're looking for. And also when I do these videos, I want you to go away with a higher, technical analysis chart IQ than you came here with, okay? And a couple of things in the writing that I did, the post on X, which, by the way, I really appreciate finally hitting, that 10,000 follower. Not that that's, any significant deal, but, I appreciate it. My little self appreciates it. But anyway, what was concerning, very concerning actually to me, were these two sell-off candles. See this wick here that sold off, this one over here, from a pretty big run, because we kind of bottomed out in here, as you can see, and then got back over the 20 and ran up. And each one of these wicks is really worth 30% to the bears. In other words, 30% chance you're going to get a pullback on the first one, 30% here, so 60% odds, probabilities you're going to get a pullback. I mean, yeah, we did get a red candle, but technically that's just a pause candle after this big run up the hill. Theta needed to pause, sit down, take a break, and then, keep the run, keep this marathon going. So, whenever you see these, anticipate, a potential pullback. And then let's see next. Yeah, I think I wanted to show you. Did I have it on the weekly? Okay, yeah, I have it on the weekly. This is the RSI. I really don't use it that much. I kind of use it as a gauge, kind of where price action is, and if what was previously done back pretty much at the let me make sure, not quite at the all-time high, but pretty close to it. What was it? The week of March 22nd, 2021. We got as high as 95 up here on the RSI, which is extremely, overbought, ready for a pullback. So yeah, even on the weekly, I was talking about the flat 200 being, to me, very problematic. We already reached ours. We saw this measured move here percent-wise, and then we do need a pullback. But this 200, essentially a flat 200 on the weekly, is a very, very strong resistance level. Most times we go in and start shorting this if this were a stock, not financial advice. I'm just saying that's what huge odds it is, and how much success we've had doing that in the past. So yeah, could Bitcoin get some good news next week? Another institution or whatever happens and it starts running, could we follow behind it? Yeah, absolutely. But in the meantime, I'm actually anticipating a pullback. And one of the reasons being, just kind of an FYI, is that the further away that you get from the 20, you really want to be thinking of scaling out, taking profits rather than buying. Okay, now that's the weekly. We go the daily. Yeah, we're still a little overextended here, and at some point, that's one of the 100% absolutes guarantees in the market. There's two of them actually, and we go into a little bit more detail in our Patreon members group. But anyway, that price will always come back to mama bear. Okay, this is kind of the cub running away. The cubs always come back to mama, the 20, and the 20 always comes back into the 200. So but as soon as they come together like this, now they're not touching, but they don't necessarily need to. It's just a range, kind of like the ropes, you know, in a boxing ring, they kind of give back and forth. But anyway, another absolute is that the 20 will follow price either to the upside or downside, far and away from the 200. That's kind of what we're doing here on the daily chart. Okay, let's go to Tfuel real quick. I don't want to leave him out. Again, big nice run up. Our measure and move here, the green dash line. We came down and tagged it, and you know, have started moving up. Now we like looking at what. Woo, I missed something here. Again, see the 20 and the 200. Whenever you see that, you need to sit back, you know, watch the charts because something big is about to happen. Okay. And if you knew that and knew what a consolidation and then a breakout looks like, and I'll go ahead and, like I said, I want your TA IQ level higher when you leave than when you got here. See this little trick here? See that previous red candle? Consolidation here on the 200. As soon as you break out, that's a go-to. Not financial advice, but I'm just saying, you know, just we've proven this to work 1,000 times over again. Anyway, here's one here, and imagine knowing that and getting in, you know, almost at the perfect bottom, so to speak. But we want confirmation. We want a little bit of an assurance here. And, you know, we cleared out this consolidation zone, number one. Number two, we got over the 20. And number three, we were close to, as far as the state where we are, the 20 and the 200. So that gave us, you know, 2-3 factors. Now, if you have two or more factors, then your thesis, either we're going up or coming or breaking down, you have an 83 to 87% probability that your thesis will work out. Okay, so anyway, and then here we go on the weekly. And like I said, we like watching the weekly. It calms everything down. You can see more clearly those breakouts, the pullbacks, and then the breakouts again. Okay, now this go dash line is a particular, you know, measured move. You know, for our Patreons, but here we are on the flat 200, and what does that sit at? The 200, about 11 cents. So we're thinking, you know, 10. That's psychological 10 cents actually, just like you know, $10, $100, $1,000, $100,000, like with Bitcoin. That's going to be a huge psychological level, and you know, here's the 200 in that range. Plus, again, as we, you know, talks a lot about on Theta, here's your 20, far and away. That's not necessarily, you know, a good thing. We needed to catch up. Not that we can't run away from the 20 for, you know, many weeks, but here was the last halving, blew up on the weekly chart. We had to come down, let that 20 catch up for several weeks. How many people do you think got washed out right here trying to trade this? Okay, and that's another, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but this is something very important. This is more of a psychological game than it is anything else. Okay, when you're, whatever coin it is, I mean, if it starts pulling back and then trading sideways, people are going to instinctively you know, want to get out and try to get more coins, which, you know, sounds logical, sounds smart, but more times than not, you know, you got to sleep at some point. These things trade 24/7. More times than not, you're going to lose coins. If you're starting out with 10,000 and you're trying to trade this whipsaw in here, and you don't, I mean, to tell you the truth, the market always does what hurts the most retail investors and the most money. Okay, so they know all the tricks in the world, but we teach you how to think like a criminal and how to beat them. But anyway, you'll start off with 10,000 coins, and the time you whipsaw in there trying to gain more coins or take profits or whatever, you'll probably end up, by the time things are said and done, you know, with 8,000, 7,000, maybe even 5,000. Okay, that's just how brutal this can be, because you start losing a little bit, and what are you going to do? You're going to go in extra heavy and revenge trade, And have you ever made a financial decision or any type of decision, especially in traffic, okay, under a stressful situation? You know, you're outside your normal, rational self, okay? I don't think you have, okay? So anyway, that's why you don't want to get too emotionally involved with this stuff. And see how we held the 20 that long. So yeah, we can hold it for an extended period of time, but there's going to be periods of times that we trade sideways and down a little bit in order to let that 20 catch up. All right. But anyway, I'm trying to think here if there's anything else. But in the meantime, hey, thanks for watching. Give us a follow over on X and try out our Patreon members group to learn how to do this stuff for yourself. And we will see you on the charts.